This is a true story of the three little pigs.
Everybody knows, everybody knows the story of the three little pigs. All ill to tell a secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody has the heart, my cease.
Story.
I am story. I'm the wolf. Alexander T. Wolf. You could call me a wolf.
No one knows just how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong.
Maybe it's because the wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way they are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think people were big and bad too.
But the whole big bad thing is all wrong.
The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar.
Way back in once upon a time, our friend the wolf was baking a cake for his dear old granny.
He had a terrible sneezing cold.
He had run out of sugar.
So he walked down the street to ask his neighbor for a cup of sugar.
Now his neighbor was a pig.
And he wasn't too bright either.
He had built his house out of straw.
Can you believe it? Who in a right mind would build a house of straw?
So of course the minute the wolf knocked on the door, it felt right and he didn't want to just walk into somebody else's house.
So he called.
Mr. Pig, are you in?
No answer.
He was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for his dear old granny's birthday cake.
That's when his nose started to itch.
He felt a sneeze coming on.
Well, he huffed and he snuffed.
Achoo.
And he sneezed a great sneeze.
And you know what? The whole darn straw house fell down. And right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig, dead as a doornail.
He's been home the whole time.
It seemed like a strange leap, a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the skull, so the wolf ate it up.
Think of it as a big cheeseburger just lying there. He was feeling a little better, but he still didn't have his cup of sugar.
So he went to the next neighbor's house.
This neighbor was the first of the pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not much. He had built his house of sticks.
He rang the bell on the stick house.
Nobody answered.
He called.
Mr. Pig, are you in?
He yelled back.
Go away, wolf. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs of my chin.
He had grabbed the doorknob when he felt another sneeze coming on.
He huffed and he snuffed.
And he tried to cover his mouth, but he sneezed a great sneeze.
And you're not going to believe it, but his house fell down just like his brother's.
When the dust cleared, there was a second little pig dead as a doornail.
Wolf honor.
Now you know food will spoil if you leave it out in the open. So the wolf did the only thing there was to do. He had dinner again.
Think of it as a second helping.
He was getting awfully full, but his cold was feeling a little better.
And he still didn't get that cup of sugar for his dear old granny's birthday cake.
So the wolf went to the next house. This guy was the first and second little pig's brother.
He must have been the brains of the family. He had built his house out of bricks. The wolf knocked on the brick house. No answer.
I was. Mr. Pig, are you in here?
And do you know what that rude little person answered?
Get out of here. Don't bother me again.
Talk about impolite.
He probably had a whole sack full of sugar.
And he didn't give the wolf even one little cup for his dear sweet old granny birthday cake.
What a pig. The wolf was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when he felt his cold coming on.
He huffed and he snuffed and he sneezed once again. Then the third little pig yelled,
And your old granny can sit on a pin. The wolf is usually a pretty calm fellow, but when he heard somebody talk about his dear sweet old granny like that, he went a little crazy.
When the cops drove up, of course he was trying to break down the pig's door. And the whole time, the wolf was huffing and puffing and sneezing to make a real scene.
The rest, as they say, is history.
The news reporter found out about the 2 pigs he had for dinner. They figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting.
So they jazz up the whole story with the huff and puff and blow your house down stuff.
And they made him the big bad wolf.
That's it. The real story.
I was framed.
But maybe